How's it going, everybody? This is We the People. Let's talk.
They're the lifters and the leaners. That's it. There's only two kinds of people in the world. And you know those people as soon as they walk through a door. Imagine what it does for your health overall, for your quality of sleep, it's like anti-aging. Interleukin-6 literally shrinks tumors. It kills cancer cells. I've worked in healthcare. I worked in, a rehab hospital for almost 3 years, and I know what it's like to work with people who don't want the help. But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I'm worried about, what gender am I today? Is that going to help me get better? Or reading a book, or reading the Bible, or reading geography, history, that's going to help me learn something. You have an accent?
Yeah.
I've experienced this. It's like they're talking to me like I'm dumb. 20, 30 years later, all these people are dropping dead from heart failure, cardiovascular disease, right? And they
All the
say,
same people that were doing all
the
these cardio.
same people, and they say, wait a minute, why did he die so young? He was a triathlete. I'm talking late 40s, early 50s. Boom, dead. Without any bias. Again, I'm coming from a communist country.
Yeah.
You guys look the same, smell the same. I don't think they would have if Trump was president.
Do you think Kamala's gonna win? This episode is brought to you by Xforce, the easiest workout in all of Tampa Bay. With just 2 workouts a week, 20-minute total for each workout, you could do so much for your body and mind. If you don't believe me, just try it out for yourself at xforcebody.com and get your free workout. Hope you guys like this episode with Xforce owner Illy. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and also don't forget to comment. Let's go.
Warren Buffett is about to start a speech, and they tell him to test the microphone, and he goes 1 million, 2 million. This is how
Warren
millionaires.
Buffett?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good. Business-wise, things have slowed down a lot, but inside, I'm so good. I really am. How are you? How's business going since the last time you were here?
Actually, surprisingly amazing.
Yeah.
Because summer is normally slow time for us because people travel, vacations, and this year we've been
Very nice. Well, you deserve it. I've been going to your gym now for about 3 months and a half, I believe. And man, it's been a really nice experience. Completely different type of workout. For the people that may not know, this is Illy. She is the owner of Xforce. We've interviewed her in the past. I don't remember the number of the episode, but you can find it 20-something. And in that episode, we had a lot of fun. It was one of the best episodes we had so far. We talked a lot about health and her experience getting to the United States. You come from Bulgaria. Is it still a communist country?
For in front of the world, the communism collapsed in 89, but it's the same people in power, just with a different name. This is what happened. So, yeah, it's still communist.
So they faked that they're free?
We were under communist regime, under Russia's, they call it the Russian boot, right?
Okay.
For almost 50 years.
Okay.
Then the communism collapsed in 89. And now all these people in power were talking in the parliament and government, and they're the same, the families of the communists that were running the show before.
Yeah.
They're the same people. So all of a sudden something hit you in the head and you started thinking differently?
Yeah. No,
it's the same.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain it. Everything that started happening with COVID, remember 2020?
Yeah.
And all these, you have to do this, you have to do this. And, wasn't it Kamala's pick for vice president that even developed like a snitch line? Like you're snitching on people that are not wearing masks,
right,
or getting together for holidays.
Right.
To me, coming from a communist country, that stuff started looking very familiar.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, oh my goodness, this is like the same stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for me too.
It is just again, I've been through it. I mean, my grandfather was imprisoned by communists because after they took away his business, during communism, you cannot own a business.
Right.
Was it Obama that says that you didn't build your business? The government built your business? Was it Obama that said that?
I didn't hear that, but maybe if you heard it.
There was one of his speeches. He said, you didn't build that business.
Did you see the one from Camilla that said that she'll snatch your, what do you call it when you invent something and it's yours?
The patent?
Patent
Yeah.
on it. I can't say that
Our
word.
accents.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say.
So Kamala said that if you have a patent, she will snatch it and make it a government,
Again, familiar. This is
be
what...
owned by the government, basically. And there's a video of her saying that. Like, this is not new or anything like this. A video of her saying that clearly. So somebody like you, somebody like me, we come to this country longing for freedom. I mean, I didn't. My parents did. I was a kid. But they injected all of the information into me in terms of what Cuba was. I saw it for myself. I grew up in Cuba, and then I come to this country and hard work, right? Like hardworking individuals. You seem to be a very hardworking person. For you to have what you have right now, even with your accent and everything that you fought for, everything that you have, you're proof that if you put your mind to it, you can achieve big things in this country. Even if you don't speak perfect English, and there's a bunch of people in Miami that don't even speak English and they're still successful. So what do you say to the people that are born in this country and don't appreciate the freedoms that they have and the power that they have just for being born here, the privilege that they have just for being born here, that they could achieve so much, but instead they're throwing it away and complaining and playing the victim card on, certain things. What do you say to those people?
I say, I'm floored. No, I mean, no, I say you have no idea what great of a country you're born in. How much you are born with opportunity.
Yeah.
You're born with, in this country, you can become whatever you want to become. And coming from a communist country, like we said, even with working out, you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
In our business, we get out what you put in. I jump out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm excited to go to work. And it can be 13 hours, 12 hours, whatever my day is. I don't look at my watch. I don't look at the time. I don't know. It's just in Bulgaria, still to this moment, there was just a story my uncle told me. He's back there.
Okay. Your uncle lives there right now.
Yes. Okay. My uncle was the reason how I ended up in Tampa Bay. He used to live in St. Pete.
That's right.
So I came on a student exchange program.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be here for 6 months, and I fell in love with Tampa Bay, America, period. I was love at first sight. Like, this is the place, and felt at home and felt like there's no limits. The sky is the limit. It's just everything. I don't know how your roads are in Cuba. Bridges, horrible. Roads, exactly.
Horrible. They look like dirt roads that used to be paved. Because and there's holes, everything.
Because somebody is pocketing the money. There's somebody's just, it is insane just when you start from building a road, building a bridge, right? My first experience is driving the bridge, the Howard Franklin, from the airport to St. Pete. I'm like, what the heck?
Wow.
The car didn't bounce once. In Bulgaria, it's like you learn to like the potholes, right? You destroy your vehicle. Those little things. If you're born here, you have no idea what happens when the wrong people are in power.
Yeah.
And the people steal and are corrupt. And everywhere you turn, there's corruption,
Yeah.
and it's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
People have no idea. People have no idea when somebody tells you, no, you can't go to church. You can. There's people watching. You go to church, your family goes to prison.
Yeah. I am the church. I am God.
Because God is what?
Yeah.
It's our anchor. When you have an anchor, you are not easy to control.
Right.
Right?
Right.
When I have my anchor, my belief, my faith, regardless of who my God is,
Yeah.
right? I am not easy to control. Nobody can come and tell me, if you don't do that, what do you mean?
Yeah.
If you don't, I don't know. It's just.
I wonder what you think about this. Have you seen what's going on in Venezuela?
Not lately.
Okay, so just to give you an idea, Marina Corina, she had been sanctioned before by Maduro. He's the current president.
Okay.
So she couldn't run for the presidency again. And she got Mundo, which is the current person that's running for president, but she's really the one running the whole thing. And he basically ran with her as the helper or the vice president, but she's really the one running the whole thing. They won by 73% of the votes. And Venezuela's out on the streets, just completely, Maduro's like, I'm not giving you the power, come take it. Like, we won. You didn't win. What are you talking about, right? Communism. So Venezuela's in the streets. They're burning, the statues, bringing them down, burning things, burning all the billboards, just fighting the police, fighting the other people. Some police members are switching, they're like taking their shirts out. They're like, I can't kill my own people, and they're becoming part of the town. They've been seen taking over tanks, like fighting tanks and stuff. Anyways, a big revolution is happening right now as we speak. The main problem is that Maduro will not give the power to Marina, right? Mm-hmm. So I was having a conversation with a family member of mine, and he seems to be communist minded. I don't know if you have anybody like that in your family that even if you see everything wrong, they still agree with what's wrong with the country. Do you have anybody like that? Or is everybody again? Like, there's always a few people in your family that are like, so what? Like, we have the best country in the world, even though they're hungry and falling apart. So, but this family member, he's very smart. I don't want to say that he's dumb because of the way he believes or anything, but he really makes me question some of some of the things. So in this case, for example, I'm with the people and that won the vote. I'm with Marina. She should be allowed to receive the power and just govern, right? The problem is that she wants freedom. She's going to change Venezuela completely. It's not going to be communist anymore. Cuba is not going to be in charge. China's not going to be in charge. Russia is not going to be in charge. It's going to be, freedom. And when freedom is open, like economic growth happens through the whole country, right?
Right.
So Maduro's not given the power. And my family member tells me, Carly, have you thought about, like, Maduro filled up the Caracas, which is the biggest capital, filled it up completely. And Marina filled up something somewhere else, but she had less people. And I'm arguing with him like, what do you mean? Like, she couldn't even go to Caracas because she would have been killed. And he goes like, if she's not willing to die to become the leader of the country, then she's just another corrupt leader. And it kind of took me back a little bit. Then he said, think about Jesus Christ. He said, think about Jesus. Jesus was willing to die to tell people the truth. That's the type of leadership that we need. Fidel Castro, for example, call him an asshole, call him a communist, whatever you want. That guy had balls, and that's why he was a leader. Because he went and killed a bunch of people that were in charge and took over power. Until we have somebody, regardless of how they think, whether they're communists or not, until we have somebody that is willing to die for the cause that they're pushing, nothing is going to change. And I was like, man, like, if I was a leader, right? Because I always put myself in those positions. And And I was thinking, okay, if I'm the leader of Venezuela right now and I won against Maduro, I would be willing to die to show the world that, look, they killed me. Now let's fight. They're willing to kill me, you know? And it kind of like took me to a place where both sides lie, right? Both sides lie, for sure. Trump, man, he's willing to die. I know this for a fact. Why? He's old. Most old people are thinking about retiring. He's willing to die to save this country.
Yeah, he is.
I feel it within me. Whether you like him or not, we need somebody that's willing to die. Everybody on the left is.
But wait, I thought the whole thing was staged. That was a fake shooting.
I don't think there was anything fake about that. I'm
being sarcastic.
I know. It's just I can't understand how anybody can think that was fake. There's too much evidence.
Because it helps them support their own narrative.
Right. Have you heard of Trump deranged syndrome? What is it? Trump deranged TDS. You never heard of it? It's this new thing that's going around social media. And I've seen a lot of people that have this. It's just the people that hate Trump. They rather vote for somebody that's dead than do the research or anything. They just hate him.
And you know how people who are led by their emotions are never very successful? Because you've heard the saying that emotions are the worst advisor.
Yeah.
And I believe that. I believe it, and that's what's scary, is most people's decision making is from emotion.
Yeah.
And they say, I don't like him. Oh, he said this, he hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
They don't look at actually the actions and what it's going to mean to them, because, I mean, why does it make sense to let anybody come through that border?
Right.
Any criminal, like why?
Yeah. You saw what's going on in Colorado right now?
No.
Multiple apartment buildings seized by prisoners from Venezuela. Seized completely. The tenants are paying rent to the criminals. The criminals are not paying the owners. And the police cannot get them out as of right now.
They seized it from who? From the owner of the building?
Yes.
Wow.
In the United States of America, in Colorado, right now, there are buildings, like apartment buildings, that are being seized by criminals that got out of Venezuelan prisons, and they seized the whole building. Basically, if you're the tenant, right, you're paying your rent. The criminals came to you and say, hey, pay your rent. And you're like, I don't pay you, I'll pay the owner. And they're like, no, you pay me from now on, or you're dead. And they basically had to pay them. And they literally have the people seized right now. It's a whole case that's going on. They need to clean that up right now. Like it's been going on for too long. So it started in one apartment. Next thing you know, so one owner reported it. And what they found out is that this has been happening in multiple apartments. So now they're looking to find out like exactly how many are in, but this is something that has been going on now for a few months. And they're just taking a bunch of, money from the tenants, not paying the owners. And it's a whole case right now because the owners should be able to just get them out, but they can't. The laws from Colorado are not allowing them to just, have the SWAT team go in there and kill everybody like they should. I don't know, not the tenants, but at least the criminals, like get out. What are you doing? Like, this is not your property. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine having a house and you have a tenant that pays you and you're the owner of the house and, I manage it for you. All of a sudden I call you like, hey.
But yes, I can imagine because it has happened before. You know when? The Nazis did it. The communists did it. The Russians did it. The communists came into your house, threw you out, or they killed you just because you had higher education. They took over your home. It has been done before. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
But when we don't know our history, we're in a danger of repeating it, right?
Right.
This has happened before. Criminals taking over people's homes, right?
When you say this has happened before, it reminds me of the Bible, because because so many things have happened already in that Bible. And it's like they repeat themselves
But
over and over again, like the
again,
history. So I get that.
it's and one of the reasons why the biggest thing during communism, you're not allowed to go to church. If you talk about Jesus and your neighbor hears, right, the snitch line,
Yeah.
there was such a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they would even question your kids. Hey, what are mommy and daddy talking at home, right?
Yeah.
If anything comes out, you're in trouble. Your family is in trouble.
Yeah.
Why was church not allowed during communism? Why? Why I can't go to church?
Because the people that go to church, or I don't want to say the people that go to church, but if you're Christian, for example, your belief is that no matter what happens, God has a plan. No matter what happens, the king is Jesus, regardless of who their president is, who the leader is. And they don't like that.
No, there was the party.
Communists don't like that.
But this is like an open question for everybody.
Right.
Why the communists don't like Jesus and the church?
Right.
Doesn't matter who is your God. I mean, we have a lot of Muslims in our country.
Right.
Allah, right? Doesn't matter what your faith is.
Right.
It's not allowed. The churches are there. They're open for when the outside world comes to visit, they see nothing wrong. The church is open. But if they see you go in, right, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. I'm not allowed to worship. Because when I worship, you can't control me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all about control. And that COVID test that we had, we failed it miserably. How easy we are to control.
Yeah.
Right? If your mask works, why do I have to wear one? Yours works, right?
Yeah.
But where's Fauci? Where is that guy?
Where is he?
Is he alive? Right?
Yeah.
It's just all too familiar.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're a good person, it's
Same things with Black Lives Matter. What happened to them? They used to be everywhere.
Black Lives Matter. I don't know. One of my favorite actors is black. One of my favorite athletes is black.
Yeah.
Right? In my top 3 actors is Denzel Washington. He made it.
Yeah.
He's black. Oh, you're a victim because you're black? What? How did he make it? How did Michael Jordan make it? What? I mean, think about all these brilliant...
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's like...
Yeah. No, I completely understand.
I'm coming from a different country, right?
Right.
Growing up, Michael Jordan, oh my goodness.
Right. But what I'm saying is that Black Lives Matters was a big deal, right? What's going on with them now? They're gone. There's no more Black Lives Matter.
How about Jewish Lives Matter?
Yeah. Every life matters, right?
I mean, yeah, we have dark chapters in history.
Right.
A lot of people were killed during the Second World War.
Right.
A lot of people were killed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, right? Slavery, yeah. Just a dark chapter. Can we just move on?
Right. Right.
Because when somebody talks about this, you weren't enslaved, your family weren't. Makes sense?
And you're recreating, right? You're creating a problem again that is no longer there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And truly, can you truly get rid of racism 100%? I doubt it. I don't think that that's something that you could do 100%. I think that same as wealth inequalities, rich and poor, can you get rid of evil things individually? Yeah, for sure. Can you think like a better human being? Can you become a better human being? For sure. But can you eradicate like completely something that's evil? I don't think so. I think it'll be there. And we just have to learn to not let it affect us. I think it's important that it's not part of our government policies. You know, like the government should not be in any way racist. There shouldn't be any racist policies and stuff like that. But when it comes to eliminating it, you can think on that ideology for years. I don't know that you ever will. It's just gonna exist, just like everything exists. We bring the percentage down for sure, But I feel like we got so good at bringing it down. I feel like we, especially after Obama won, like what other proof do you need? Anybody that is willing to do the work can truly become the president of this country by, talking right, by getting together with certain parties, by having money that's supporting for sure. But it has nothing to do with your race or where you're from. I mean, you got to be born here. But outside of that,
but that division, because for me, there's only two kinds of people, and that's not me. That's a poem about there's two kinds of people. I forget the name of the lady who wrote the poem. It's called there's like two kinds of people. They're the lifters and the leaners. That's it. There's only two kinds of people in the world. And you know those people as soon as they walk through a door. The people who lift you up.
Yeah.
And the people who are just leaning.
Yeah.
Okay? And that division, racism, whatever it's called, right? And I don't know what I'm not from America, right? I come from Bulgaria.
Right.
I come from Eastern Europe, right? To me, it's just a way to make people weaker because we're, again, divide and conquer.
Right.
Right? I mean, I'm reading Marcus Aurelius right now. He was a great leader and he wore so many hats, right? But this is ancient way to destroy an empire. Divide, distract with BS. And if I'm worried about what gender am I, I'm not going to be focused on history, geography, something that's going to make me smarter.
Yeah.
Is focusing on my gender going to make
truth.
me...
Not the truth.
Yeah.
Your truth.
But this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If I'm worried about, what gender am I today? Is that going to help me get better? Or reading a book, or reading the Bible, or reading geography, history, that's going to help me learn something. Oh, wait. The Nazis killed millions of people.
Yeah.
There's racism has always been there, right? But it makes sense? It's like, this is all just...
The question should be, what has racism stopped you from doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't even speak the language, talk about racism,
Right.
come
Right.
here.
And I'm
Talking
sure
about I'm different.
I'm sure you've experienced, because I have, like, one time I was working at McDonald's and I was talking Spanish to my employee, and an old lady came out of nowhere and said, "We speak English in this country."
I know.
And I was like, okay, just she doesn't speak English.
Yeah. Or, when you have an accent,
Yeah.
people will, I've experienced this, is like they're talking to me like I'm dumb because I have an accent.
Yeah. So that's exactly the point.
But that's what I'm saying.
But you can choose to be like, people are racist, they hate me. Or you can choose to be like, it's okay for you to think that way. I know who I am.
I know. I wake up and I don't worry about it.
Right.
I'm like,
right.
It hasn't stopped me from doing what I need to do.
Right. Right.
It hasn't stopped me from working my butt off.
Right.
I don't have time to worry about this thing. It's almost like, when do you have the extra time to think about, wait a minute, I'm this color. If I show you my calendar, like, when do you have the time to worry about that?
Yeah.
Why do you have the time? Where do you find that time to sit down and write 3 paragraphs on social media how much of a victim you are? Right?
Yeah.
People should be busy being productive and learning and contributing and helping people. And why do we have the time to worry about it? Make sense?
Yeah. And it's something that I've been trying to answer for a very long time, because that is the division that we're having in this country. We have the people that love Trump. We have the people that don't love Trump, but they'll vote for him because it's going to be a better economy for America, more, better options for us to choose from, etc. And then we have the people that absolutely hate Trump. They'll vote for anybody except for him. And then we have people that just respect and love the Democrat Party. And I'm like, man, like, if there was, for example, Bobby Kennedy, John F. Kennedy's brother,
yeah.
you know that he's running
Yeah.
for president. He
Yeah.
just endorsed Trump, right?
Right.
If he would have been on the Democrat side and the Democratic Party would have supported him, that would have been an interesting race,
Right.
in my opinion,
Right.
because they're both really good candidates. You know, like, yeah, he's a Democrat, Republican, but man, I would have been like, you know, wow, like they're both good candidates. If you look at their history, if you look at their political history, I mean, one has an uncle that got assassinated as a president of the United States.
Right.
And one of the things that he wants to do is release all the information on that so that the people can know what really happened with that assassination, like who did it.
Right.
We all already know it was the CIA. I mean, we think, right? But the point is, both of them would have been great. Instead, the Democratic Party put somebody that no one has ever voted for. Ever. No one has ever voted for her to be in this position at all. There was no competition. She didn't have to compete against any other Democrats at all.
So how was San Francisco when she was in charge there? What happened to San Francisco?
Oh, I got a friend that just moved in, a family member.
Tell me about it. Let's take emotion out and look at actions and what's been done.
Right. So San Francisco right now is filled with homeless people. It got cleaned up, I believe, only for the Chinese communists to come over. Most of everything that's being purchased, real estate is good in San Francisco in terms of prices and stuff like that. Like they're holding price, houses are selling fast, but the people are moving out.
Why?
Most of the people are moving out.
If it's so great.
The policies have moved them out, basically. The schoolings, the situation like where you walk everywhere and there's homeless people everywhere. The amount of illegal immigration that has come in, crimes, the fact that they've lowered, like I think under $1,500, if you steal something, you don't go to jail. So everything's getting looted. Shelves empty when you go shopping and stuff like that. It's kind of like the beginning of communism. And that's the result of Newsom and Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris ran San Francisco. Based on what I learned, their track record includes kicking out most big companies, rich companies, because that's the thing. They run on cutting taxes to the wealthy.
Right.
Like right now, they're trying to pass a bill where they'll charge 45% on capital gains to anybody that gets money, like traders or Imagine if that happens. Just by that law passing, everybody will stop trading. That alone is going to create so much issues. Also, what I've learned from history that I've read myself is that every time you tax more to the rich, they leave to somewhere that doesn't tax as much.
Of course.
They don't just sit there and let you take their money.
What about that Newsom? That was Newsom's brilliant idea to tax people who leave California, kind of as a punishment.
Oh, they're doing that. They also are trying to pass a law to tax you for the mileage on your electric vehicles.
So why do we have to vote for those people again?
I wouldn't vote for them. You wouldn't vote for them.
But see, I'm an immigrant.
Right.
I have no idea.
Right.
Democrat, Republican. All I ask is, okay, how is it? Because I would never live in California.
Here's what I think. I think most people that are coming illegally into this country that might have a chance to vote in this November, because some states are not even asking for IDs to vote.
Of course.
Which is also passed by the Democratic Party.
Of course.
I believe, based on some of the research that I've done, that it's all emotional. Basically, right. So basically, if you were allowed in this country illegally and the party that allowed you to come in here illegally is in charge, you have an emotional attachment to that party. It's because of them that you came to this country. It's because of Biden and Kamala that so many Cubans have come through the Mexican border, and so many Mexicans and Central Americans, and not only that, Chinese people that are coming all around the world. They're going to Mexico and then they're moving up. So they're creating a lot of emotional attachment to that. I want my family members to come. I want this person to come or whatever. So we got to keep voting this way. Not only that, the help, the benefits that you get. Right now, they're approving programs for illegal immigrants to buy homes in California and Oregon, to buy homes with 0% down assistance. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can't apply for that. Like, make it make sense. Americans are suffering right now from a lot of issues. I know the real estate market here in Florida right now is crashing. The inflation is horrible. Gas has not been that bad as of late. It's at 3 something, but with Trump it was $2, which is historic.
So when Trump, I remember when he was president, he did everything in his power to make us independent.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
How is being independent from other countries like China? Like, where were we drilling? Down in Brazil somewhere? We were getting oil?
Alaska, I think is where we're getting it here.
No, but during Trump, he made sure we're independent.
Right. He was drilling here in Alaska. And
so
yeah.
Who is really benefiting from us being dependent on other countries? Who is benefiting from that?
Other countries.
And who else is benefiting?
Billionaires that control the narrative.
Because they're getting what?
Money.
And this is what's going on in Bulgaria. This is what's going on in the communists. They say, oh, no, it's not communism. Absolutely it is, because it's the same people. Yeah. It's called corruption.
Yeah.
You're going to be dependent on me. I'm going to pay you. And, I mean, again, this is all too familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because they asked at the DNC, Democrats are running on, taxing the wealthy.
Right.
And they, an interviewer went up to a old rich man that was at the DNC and asked him, how do you feel about the tax cut that they're doing to all wealthy people? And it's like, he's one of them. And it's like, yeah, I agree with it, whatever. Oh, you do? Like, for sure? Like, this is what you want to do? And like, yeah, I agree with it. It's like, dude, this guy is wealthy, lying about how he agrees about that, when in reality, they're not going to tax those people. They're going to tax the regular Americans, the middle class Americans. They're gonna ruin a lot of lives on the power of emotion. Everything that they talked about, 90% of the DNC. I mean, the DNC is where you want to talk about all the changes that are going to come to the country and everything. Okay, 16 years, Illy. 16 years of the last. On the last 16 years, 12 of those years have been ran by Democrats. So talk about the division in this country. Talk about the school shootings, which started with Obama, not with Trump. Talk about the gun violence. Talk about every issue that this country has right now. It all started with Obama, and it's all ending, everything that's happening right now has been the last 3 years. Under Trump, was there still hate crimes? Yes. Was there peace in the world? Yes. No wars. That to me is number one. The economy booming. I mean, only we have 4 years that we can be really thankful for. Outside of that, if the Democrats are so mad about what's going on in this country and everything that they say, oh, Trump this, Trump that, like 90% all emotional, all the problems that this country has. Okay, well, look at yourself in the mirror. You've been running this country for 12 years of the last 16.
Yeah, and I mean, it's true. It's like, I mean, why is Kamala saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going? You had a chance. You were vice president. What happened?
I told the same thing to a Cuban friend of mine on the other podcast I got. And he said, dude, Cuba's been doing it for 60 years. Forget 12 years. For 60 years, Cuba has been blaming the United States for their misery. And there are people that still believe that it's all the United States' fault.
The same, Russia is the same narrative. It's like, I say, you know what? If you want communism and socialism, just go live in Russia. You know what? It's, again, I'm a firm believer in God, and God will keep blessing America, and none of that stuff will fly.
Yeah.
Because I just know that most people still have that faith and sense, and because right now it's almost like everything's pushing to the left, right?
Do you think Kamala's gonna win?
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think God's gonna allow that. I pray that.
I wish you were
I
right.
pray that doesn't happen, because it's, again, even without any bias, again, I'm coming from a communist country.
Yeah.
You guys look the same, smell the same, and if it looks like a duck, right? If it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Yeah.
I'm coming from a communist country.
Yeah.
Move to Russia. Move to Bulgaria. Go.
You don't have to go
Go
that far.
check it
Just go to Cuba. Cuba's
Go-
right.
okay, go-
Cuba's
go-
right
yeah.
there. You can take a flight.
Yeah, if this is what you want, if you want corruption, if you want a mess, if you want, no respect for law enforcement, right? Go live there.
They're saying that Trump is a dictator. How can you even explain that? One, he already gave the power away. Two, how is he a dictator if he's gonna die soon? Like, he's at the end of his life. How long is he gonna dictate for,
So which other leader didn't even take the president's salary? Did Obama get paid?
Everybody got
Did
paid.
Did Obama become better off when he became a president?
Absolutely.
Which,
Millions more.
Which president has an aircraft that's about double the price of air? Because Trump owns the most expensive aircraft in the world, right?
Yeah.
So he's downgrading to Air Force One.
Yeah.
Who else? He's downgrading to live in the White House.
Yeah.
Literally, you're downgrading.
Yeah. You know what I really liked about this last run? The amount of Republicans that I saw that stepped up. Vivek Ramaswamy. I always liked DeSantis. I like Tim. I like Nikki Haley a little bit. I feel like the future of this country, if everything works out where Trump wins, and after his 4 years, even the vice president he got, J.D. Vance, oh man, I love that kid. He's so good.
Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first saw his pick, I'm like, I don't know, like why? Like, cause I understand that emotional voters work. And I'm thinking, pick Tulsi Gabbard or pick somebody else black. Why? Because woman, black. I'm thinking about the emotional voters. And
wait, I thought she was Indian.
Tulsi?
No, Kamala,
Tulsi's Hawaiian. No,
kidding.
Kamala is
Kamala.
Indian. Yeah. But, I'm thinking about strategy. And, man, again, Trump proves me wrong because he's not thinking about strategy. He's thinking about the best person for the position, which is how most companies in this country should work. You don't hire somebody based on their, skin color or whether a man or woman or anything like that. You hire them based on the interview that they give you, how good they were, and how much you feel like they're fit for the job. So in my head, I'm thinking, man, like Trump should go with a woman, which I really like Tulsi Gabbard. Besides the point that she's a woman, she is so like amazing. I think she's a future president. Maybe she should be the first woman president. Do you know who she is?
I can't remember. No.
She's so good. You should look her up, Tulsi Gabbard. She just spoke recently with Trump because she's supporting Trump. And she used to be a Democrat. We all used to be Democrat. Everybody used to be a Democrat and then switch over, right?
Yeah.
So she's very just military background, wants peace around the world, but she has the backbone just like Trump does. Just gives me a really good feeling, security about truth. She talks in a lot of podcasts. You know how many podcasts Trump has done in the past 2 months? I believe about 10 of them. It was in Theo Von. He's doing a lot of podcasts. You know what I love about podcasts? I can tell if you're lying to me. I can tell. It's not made up. We before we start this podcast, we could have a plan. But as we start talking, if it's an act, people will figure it out. You know what I mean? Like people will figure out, oh, they're just acting.
Right.
It's just like the DNC. The whole DNC, Kamala's speech, is an act. It's so easy to tell. Everybody says the same thing. Trump this, Trump that. You could literally clip different moments and put them in the same page, and they say it exactly the same way. Same with the news. All the corruption in the news, they're all saying the same exact thing. When you see that, all right, everybody got the memo. Everybody needs to say this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it felt like. With Trump,
You don't know
where
what's
is this
going
guy going?
Yeah, exactly.
He was talking about how when he got shot, how he was talking about the shark, and he always shows that shark at the end, but he decided to show it early, and that shark is what saved his life.
Right.
So it's like he can go left, right. He can say whatever he wants, and I love that. And in the podcast, every single podcast that I've seen so far, just amazing. Yeah, he does the same thing where I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen any, you know, he does that little Trump thing that he does that I understand if people hate that. I don't care about that. But you can see the realness.
No,
you can
but-
see
yeah.
the businessman.
He's
You
real.
can see the hard hand that we need right now so that we can fix all these issues that we got going on in our schools, in the world. I mean, I talk to a lot of people that are from outside the United States. I got connections in Argentina. I got connections in Mexico, Venezuela, Cuba, all of Latin America, really. Mexico, like everywhere, Central America, Salvador, everywhere. When I talk to people about the United States, people see the United States like, you know, the freedom of the world. Like that flag means so much. And then you see things like people burning their own flag here, you know, burning the United States flag. Or then you see Americans that just talk bad about America in a way where it's not, of course, we're not going to be perfect, but in a way where it's like shameful or, you know, like, I hate this country or whatever, you know, and it's like
No,
what
but
you
it's
said, right?
It's so bizarre that if I have a flag at my house, it's almost you know who I'm voting for.
Yeah.
Isn't it so?
Yeah.
When everybody should be a patriot.
Right. Everybody should have
If-
the same flag in this country.
Like we have the flag here,
yeah.
you know who we're voting for, right?
Yeah.
But isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
From somebody who knows and comes from a regime, there is a dictatorship regime, communist, socialist, whatever. It's all a way to weaken, to divide, and when we're divided, we're just easy to control.
Illy, what is some of the toughest things you had to endure over there in Bulgaria?
It was the mafia, basically. And when you have an expensive car and nice something, it's not related to, they own a successful business. They do this cool.
It's related to the work with the mafia.
It's related to the work on the mafia. And then all of a sudden, all my friends and girlfriends and everybody wants to act. And I just felt like I never belonged. Like it was maybe my parents. Thank God I had the parents I have, right? But it was about service. It was about hard work. It was about, it's that, I guess the toughest thing was the feeling of us, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
I don't belong here. These people only think about what they can get. You know, my father always used to say, when you do something for somebody nice, you forget it right away.
Yeah.
I never do something because I expect, make sense?
Yeah.
It's just that mindset that, you know what I just said? The lifters
Yeah.
and the leaners.
Yeah.
Everybody around me is, what can we get? I want expensive this. I want to go on expensive that. Are you putting in the work?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all like expensive stuff, but I want to earn it. Darn, it feels rewarding, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, I do. I like to do a comparison between Cuba and Bulgaria. So, for example, And tell me how true this is in your country, just to kind of like get a gauge at communism
okay.
or the type of communisms we've lived.
We're the Russian kind.
Yeah. Well, Cuba was Russian as well.
There you go.
Right. So in Cuba right now, girls, like probably 90%, maybe more, will end up in prostitution unless they're outside of the country, because that's the number one way of making money in Cuba for any woman, more than being a doctor, more than being a businessman, more than any job. Women just sell their bodies in terms of prostitution. Is that something that's happening in Bulgaria a lot, or?
Yes. Again, my environment was, I guess, I was blessed with, my family, my cousins, they all have hard workers, respectable jobs, education, but outside of my small little circle, absolutely.
Well, I would say that in Cuba, it wasn't necessarily like that, when I was younger, but it got worse and worse. Like the percentage of that happening just got higher and higher, because it was just, communism. The longer it lasts, the worse the country gets. So the less opportunities, to the point where
yes.
You know what I mean? So now today, like it's basically only like that's the only option for a lot of young girls.
In Bulgaria, there was also this very weird, strange trend of they're so-called singers. They're like a folk there was a special name in Bulgaria called chalga. Okay. And there's these chalga stars. It's like a folklore. Let's say you have like, what is the Cuban, the music, traditional music, like the salsa?
Yeah, salsa.
So now you have these performers, female.
Okay.
That if I pull up videos online, it's like beyond prostitutes, like the look,
What is beyond prostitution?
No. It's the look, the image.
Okay.
They're singers, but all of them are paid and supported by, again, some mafia boss or some.
So it's kind of like a Las Vegas type situation where they're performers and they're topless and.
Almost, yeah, pretty much. And this is what the young kids and the children and the young girls are looking up to.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, you're going to say, I don't want my daughter anywhere near that shit.
Right.
Like, it's gross, right? But this trend, again, starts by the mafia and these criminals, and makes sense?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. These girls, they make a lot of money, but it's very strange. Now that you're saying about the females, you reminded me of that. Yeah, it's a.
What about transportation in Cuba? The main method of transportation is guaguas, which is buses.
Yes.
Is that the main method in Bulgaria? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the buses get overloaded with people, and people are like hanging off the buses, and that happens in Bulgaria? Mm-hmm. What kind of buses do you guys have? Were they like? Do you guys have the ones that are two buses that are connected?
No, regular single bus.
So one single. Yeah. We have those too, but we also have one we call the camellos. They look like camels because they were like trucks, big trucks, but they carried a lot of people, and it was like bigger than a regular bus. They don't have those? No,
regular buses, but they're always packed.
Very packed. Okay.
I mean, a lot of people have cars too.
Yeah.
But again, I come from the city. Like my city is a big city on the water.
Now in Cuba, most cars are from the 50s, 60s. Recently, some people from Miami have figured out how to get newer cars into Cuba. So some are getting in there. But most cars are really old, like really old Chevys from the 50s, 60s. It's like walking back into time.
To this day?
Yes. Is it like that over there at all?
No, not anymore.
We have a car that is famously known in Cuba. They're called Lada. Lada, and they're a Russian car.
Oh, Lada, we have those.
You got Ladas over there?
Yeah.
Are they newer versions of Lada or old ones?
Old ones.
Old ones, the little square ones?
Yes, we still have them. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You see? Same thing. Okay.
There you go.
What about in Cuba we had La Libretica, which is like a notebook.
Okay.
and you would use it to get eggs and bread and stuff that the government would give you, like your food, basically.
Not anymore.
Okay.
No.
So how do you get food in Bulgaria?
You go to the
just
store
go to
and
the
you
store and
buy it,
punch.
like
Okay.
here, yeah.
So in Cuba, there you have that option, but I'm pretty sure we still have it where you go and get your food off of, what belongs to you. Like every family gets this much rice, this much eggs, this much, of whatever. And there's also the private sectors that really pay the government. Everything's owned by the government.
Yeah.
But in those, what happened with time is that the rice started coming with worms. The beans, like you have to clean it yourself. You never experienced anything like that?
During communism.
Okay.
Now you buy it.
So now it's just
now
a
you go
different
to the
type of
store and
communism.
buy, yeah.
Okay.
Now it's we're out of communism, but the same people are in power. They're corrupt.
What about electricity, energy, basically? Water, electricity. Do you pay for your own electricity?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's only one provider. It's monopolized. There's
Right.
only one provider.
It's kind of like that here too.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I think Trump and Elon Musk want to fix.
Yeah.
And if they fix it, I have a feeling we're going to get free electricity. But it's a secret because
Or
they
at
kill
least-
people over this.
or at least have competition with pricing.
Yeah, for sure.
Now you, no matter what it costs, you gotta pay it, because otherwise.
Electricity should be free. The sun gives us energy.
Yeah, I
There's ways of doing it for free. It doesn't have to cost money. The only reason why it costs money is because the government owns it, and there's only one.
But think about it.
Right.
There's no.
Right.
If you have different providers,
Nikola Tesla created free electricity. You heard about that?
right?
And they killed him for it. Same as the guy. There's a guy that built a car out of water that runs out of water. They killed him too.
A lot of businesses will go out of business, right?
Yeah. It's there's a Cuban mafia in Miami right now. That people think that they're long gone. Not long gone. The thing is that there's a lot of people that make money with things that you send to Cuba. A lot of businesses.
Yeah, of course.
Do you have businesses in here that send things to Bulgaria?
I'm sure, yeah.
All right, so these businesses, if Cuba becomes free, they're all going down. So it's like they're never going to be free because the people in power will never allow it.
But the people in power are getting paid also.
Right.
You have no
These
idea.
people are
Yeah.
people that live here, that are
I
communists,
understand,
that love communism.
Like if my
but they live here, and Cuba's suffering because of them. You know what I mean?
Carlos, the same is with the Russians.
Yeah.
They trash America. America's horrible. America's evil. They send their kids here. How many Russians live in America?
Where do you stand? Where do you stand with the Ukraine war?
We support. I mean, Bulgaria supports Ukraine,
But do you feel like Americans should fund the war? Do you think that, like, have you heard the history? Is it something that you like?
I mean, there's conspiracy theories around it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, America.
Let me tell you what I think and tell me
that's fine.
whether you agree with it or not. It feels like to me that Ukraine is in a spot that is very important for Russia, that they don't get involved with American politics or American military in it because it's too close to Russia. Like if I'm Putin, for example, which I'm not, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course.
I
mean, Putin wants us to get out of the European Union.
Right.
They want Bulgarian to get.
Right. So Bulgarian belongs to NATO?
European, yes.
To
right
NATO?
now, yeah.
Okay.
And Putin wants us out of there.
Right.
And half of the Bulgarians want that, and half of the Bulgarians don't.
Yeah. Division right there again. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, it seems, and this is just an opinion, I'm not true, but based on what the interviews that I've seen, on the history that I saw from what Russia used to own and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I believe that Ukraine's government is purposely putting themselves into this situation. Am I wrong by saying that? Do you think it's all, like the whole attack, the whole war between Ukraine and Russia, do you think it's Russia's fall completely, or do you think that the Ukrainian people have some, not the people, the government has some type of responsibility in the choices that they made? Because it seemed like in the 90s they made a treaty with Bill Clinton where, you know, everybody was going to be at peace as long as they weren't joining NATO. And then they decided to join NATO, and that's what kind of started this?
I can understand why Ukraine wants to join NATO, right?
Right.
Because you want that protection. If you're right next to Russia,
Right.
put yourself in the Ukrainian shoes. Wouldn't you want to be part of NATO to have
Absolutely.
that protection?
Absolutely.
So, honestly, if Ukraine decided, you know what, we need to be part of NATO, I can understand.
Yeah. I understand that.
Because I don't want to be under the threat of, you know, because Putin wants to be on the Black Sea.
Yeah.
He would want Bulgaria one day too. He wants back that, you know, the SSSR.
It feels like it's like, you know, that like Russia is that bully in the school in that area in terms of like, you know, they're going to get what they want unless the United States is going to do something about it. It's what it kind of feels like.
Correct. In United States, he's always jumping and saving somebody.
But
right?
I feel like if things would have just stayed the way they were, I don't think that Russia would have attacked. Do you feel different? Do you think they would have attacked anyways?
I don't think they would have if Trump was president. I don't think they would have.
Okay. So you think Trump
Whether
being president
they say,
makes a big difference?
Trump is friends with Putin. What do you mean? He needs to be friends with everybody, so there's no...
I wouldn't use the word friends.
I mean, remember they
but
said
he needs
that.
to respect and meet them, for sure. They need to talk, right?
But that's being a diplomat, right?
Right.
It's part of... They say, oh, he's not a politician. I mean, no, he went to King Jong-un, whatever the name is. I can never pronounce it. He's talking to Putin. That's being a diplomat, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We need that. He told King Jong whatever. He went into his land. He shook his hand.
I know.
But prior to that, he told him that Kim whatever started talking about I got a nuclear button that I can just press. And Trump was like, I got one too, and it's bigger and better than yours, and mine works.
Exactly.
That was good.
But that's, again, do you want Trump as a leader?
Yeah.
Or somebody who would be like, oh, okay, whatever you say. Like,
yeah. I cannot see Kamala Harris handling just other countries in a way that she looks like, I mean, Putin will like shoo her up and spit her out. That's what I think. Putin would, like, imagine Putin and Kamala Harris in an office talking politics. I feel like Putin will like obliterate her. Like he will do whatever he wants with her. Like,
I mean, listen, he's not the kind of leader that I would want, but he's a leader.
Yeah.
He's not afraid.
It's like Castro.
Like he's a dictator,
right,
for sure, but I can't even imagine if we have Kamala and Putin and there's an issue, right?
He's going to win. I just don't see, I mean, we could win a war for sure because we got the better military. I'm not saying that we'll lose a war. But in terms of conversations, in terms of policies, in terms of who got the bigger balls, he'll win. I mean, I can't, it's like Castro. It's when I look through history, Fidel Castro is one of the men that was such a little country. He was like, fuck you, U.S. Like, it's mine. What are you going to do?
But this is...
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and there's... As much as I hate him for destroying my country, that part, people always respect it.
Yeah.
He's a leader.
He's a
right?
leader. Yeah.
He might be an evil leader, but he's a leader.
Exactly.
And people followed him. A lot of people, like, wow. Like, you know, they backed him no matter what.
And the question is, do you think Russia would have, whatever happened between Russia and Ukraine would have happened if Trump was in the president?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so because leaders respect each other. And at the end of the day, Trump is a heck of a leader too. And, Putin may want to test Trump here and there to see where he's at. But you know how he brought the nuclear boats and then all that stuff to Cuba?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, do you do that with Trump in power and there's a problem? China flying a balloon over your country.
Yeah.
You do that with, Trump in power, that's a problem. Like, we wouldn't have waited that long to bring it down.
Exactly.
There's too many things where, I don't think Trump would allow any of that to happen. But yeah, it's crazy. All right, last communist question. Construction. Buildings in Bulgaria where people live. Is there like small little houses as well as like buildings, buildings kind of like...
Depends on where you go.
Like in Cuba, we have, like where I grew up, we have 5-story buildings and 12-story buildings. And we call them, cinco planta, 12 planta, which is like 12-story type building. And I feel like I've seen some videos from Russia from the past, and they look similar to the buildings in Cuba.
They're ugly.
Yeah, they're a box.
Block, yeah.
Right?
Ugly block, yeah. So, depends on which part of I'm sure it's the same in Cuba. You have cities. They have the nice old buildings that were built before communism.
Yeah.
That are gorgeous. That are brick. That are just,
Yeah.
When you go in Europe, right, the same, we have that. And then you have the buildings that the communists put, the blocks.
Yeah.
This is what it's called in Bulgarian, block, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference right away.
How's it going, everybody? This is We the People. Let's talk. I wanted to focus on health, on the things that you've helped so many people achieve in terms of working out, getting into shape, and just living a healthier life, a stronger life. One of the number one things that I noticed right away, like week 1, week 2, is that I felt stronger right away. It was a natural feeling. I just, when I carried my kids, when I was at home, I felt like I had more strength. The workout was so weird. It's guys, I can't.
No, you sound like come out. No,
it's a good weird. It was just something I've never experienced before. But it was good. It was the soreness that you normally feel, but I think maybe times 2. Like you felt weaker after you were done, but it was it wasn't exactly the same. It wasn't like your muscles were dead, but it was like, man, like they got shocked for sure. Can you just go a little bit into that? Or, the reactions that most of people say, are they kind of like what I'm saying right now, or do they say different things? What do you?
Yes, they say, wow, this is different.
Yeah.
And what you're feeling is probably that soreness, but also you feel like you're breaking down the muscle on a whole deeper level. Okay. That's what's happening. With the negative component, it's exactly what's happening. You're breaking down muscle, but on a level you can achieve with traditional weights, because the traditional weights are the same resistance when you're going up and when you're lowering it.
Yeah.
And with Xforce, every time you're lowering 40% more of what you're lifting.
Okay.
So this is why you feel, oh my goodness, I'm toast.
Yeah.
Right?
So one of the main focuses on the workouts. By the way, guys, 20-minute workout twice a week. Rest is important. Some of the questions that they ask is how has your rest been? You've been sleeping. Dieting is important. Probably not as important as depends on what your achievements are, but it's probably not as important as you think it may be. I know that Frank had mentioned, you could eat some of what you want, but just eat less. And for his plan, to my plan, you didn't really give me much instructions on that, because my weight wasn't necessarily bad.
Right.
I wanted to gain muscle, and I have gained muscles. My arms are bigger. Belly fat has gone away a bit. And typically, my wife hasn't given me any amazing compliments, but I know why. And it's because I get here and then, I fall off the wheel. And this is a workout that I don't want to fall off. It's fun. It's twice a week. It doesn't take a lot of time away from me. I know that I have to be there. I basically go in, and regardless of how I'm feeling, because sometimes you just don't feel like working out, right? But you still got to get through it, especially on those hard days. Wouldn't you agree, right?
Yeah, those are the most rewarding
right.
for me.
Yes. And I get in there and I'm like, okay, 5 machines. I got to get through them. Is it five? It's 5?
7.
7. Okay. 7 machines. And then, every time you do one, it's just a little bit less and it's a little bit less. And sometimes I go in there and I'm just pumped. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to just, do it. And regardless of, how you go in, I try to set my mindset to let's kill it. Let's do good. But, a few things that really hyped me up was the energy. I'm sure you practice this with your employees probably or something because they're so friendly. I'm getting down from my truck and they're already waiting for me, saying hi. I mean, I took classes in customer service and you guys are like excellent on it. Is this something that you often practice with your people?
I feel like they're already that way before.
Okay, so you hired them and with that energy and... Okay.
I try to just bring the right person that would greet you no matter where you are. If
Right.
they see you in a grocery store, if they see you on the street, it's
that's the culture that you want in your gyms, right? I went to the South Tampa one, and even though I didn't know a lot of them there or any of them, I didn't know any of them. They all came over and presented themselves. They knew me by name. I'm like, okay. And it's so cool. Like, right, when people treat you with respect, regardless of the situation, it just creates another level of fun wherever you're going to be at, trust as well. But yeah, I'm very thankful for my results. I think you guys have done, you've done an excellent job with the gym. Your trainers are amazing. The workouts are... Guys, you can do it. Like, it's not complicated. I love the fact that we're focusing on, like, a lot of times I want to like finish and then they ask me for one more. And I love that because I know that if I don't do those, extra 2 or 3, I don't get the result that I may want, right? So you got to fight for those. And one of my favorite things is I have back issues and you guys are constantly watching my back, making sure that I don't arch, that my back is on the seat correctly. So you're watching out for my health. I have not had serious back issues since I've started at all. If I ever felt anything, I mention it. You guys, give me little tips or whatever to go through the workout. But it's been almost completely not there. If anything, it's helped me out. It's strengthened my back, right?
Happy.
And I remember you mentioned that to begin with in the other podcast too. So that was really nice to see. When it comes to women working out, what is your opinion like from age differences? How much should they be working out? And then also, if a woman is pregnant, is it okay to still work out at a place like Xforce, or would you recommend a break during that time? What are your thoughts on women's health and that aspect?
Specifically with Xforce equipment, because of the hormones involved, and those are on levels you can compare with traditional weights, which are super beneficial for your health.
Yeah.
If you have been doing Xforce before you got pregnant, you can continue till the day you deliver. We have a couple clients who did this, and she's been a client for over 5 years, and she started years before she got pregnant with the second baby.
Okay.
And worked out till the end, delivered the baby, 6 weeks off per doctor order, and came right back. But you can't start Xforce if you're already pregnant.
Right, like if you haven't done it before,
Correct.
If your body's not used to it.
Correct, because of the hormones involved. Your body needs to be used to it before, but you should exercise.
Can you explain to people the hormones involved? What do you mean by that?
So Xforce is a equipment designed to deliver an accentuated negative workout. What that means is because we're 40% stronger on the lowering part of the repetition,
right?
The machine is designed to give us that extra 40% resistance on the way down,
Right.
which is incredible
Right.
as far as results, muscle building, fat loss, all of these components. But the reason why the results come so fast is because due to the deep breakdown of the muscle, our bodies are forced to produce growth hormone, insulin growth factor, interleukin-6. Those are the main three, and there's three more. You know what growth hormone does for your health? People get shots of it.
Right.
GHG.
Right. That's why I'm asking you, because it sounds like a shot to me when you first mentioned it.
Exactly. People
but this workouts deliver it in natural way.
Natural ways.
Okay.
Just because we're naturally breaking down the muscle so deeply that the body is forcing to... growth hormone is what makes a teenager sleep for 14 hours.
Oh, wow.
Nothing can wake them up, right? It helps them grow.
Yeah.
And we start producing it again with Xforce. And imagine what it does for your health overall, for your quality of sleep, it's like anti-aging, okay? Insulin growth factor is the hormone that helps you lose the fat faster than ever.
Yeah.
Also protects from diabetes. Again, this is natural. The third one is interleukin-6, which is a huge anti-inflammatory. We knew this for years, that interleukin-6 is anti-inflammation, helps you fight inflammation. Now, over the last 4 years, they did studies with cancer patients, and they found that interleukin-6 literally shrinks tumors. It kills cancer cells.
That's
so when you look at your workout, you're not just building muscle, losing fat. You are making your body resilient to all these illnesses and infection and all that. But because the level of those hormones is so high, if you're already pregnant, you're a female, you're pregnant, it's going to be too much as a shock to the system, because you haven't adapted to the different stimulus prior, okay?
Yeah.
But if you did Xforce before, and I mean, there was a big-time news anchor that messaged me at the time she was pregnant, and she said, "Can I do this? I'm pregnant." I said, "You're welcome after you deliver your baby. You know, you can't start this now."
Yeah.
But
do you recommend any type of workout while a female is pregnant?
Oh yeah. You can walk. You can still lift weights.
Okay.
Traditional weights is fine. It's whatever your limitations are. Absolutely.
Very nice. Is it any different in terms of the workouts for men and female? The way that you treat the workouts is about the same?
It's the same in a sense of the science, because anatomy and physiology it's the same.
Right.
When people say, "Oh, I know my body," like, what do you mean?
What does it mean to know your body?
What does it mean to know your body? It's anatomy and physiology. And of course that, for example, you and I have different level of strength.
Yeah.
But I'm working hard and you're working hard in the gym.
Right.
It's a myth that women should be doing something different.
Yeah.
We should train. I mean, every muscle in your body has a function. Every muscle in your body helps you and protects you, right? Protects your joints, your bones, especially women. I feel like women should be focusing on weights even more, because we start losing bone density faster.
So you mean like as they age?
As we age, correct. As we age, again, we start off with less muscle than a male, naturally, like anatomy and physiology.
Yeah.
Even if I have a twin brother and we start the same program, he's going to build muscle faster, right?
Yeah.
And lose fat faster, because as a male, he has more hormones, different level of hormones, and also he wakes up with more muscle than me.
Yeah.
Right? But females, it was a big taboo with weights. I hope it's not anymore, but back in the day, women are, I'm going to get big and bulky.
Right.
No,
Right.
no.
Well, in today's world, like I've seen so many, women with beautiful physiques. If you're looking for personal preference, there's certain preferences that a man will have, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen some athletes out there on Instagram and stuff that just they look like you can see every single muscle in their body, and they don't look like they're overgrown or overdone, but they just like the woman's physical body in terms of strength can be a beautiful thing as well, and in a lot of ways. When it comes to like the meals and stuff like that, where are you at with like whey protein shakes and protein bars and stuff like that? Is that something that you recommend sometimes or not? Where are you at with those? Would you rather your clients stay to non-processed foods, or what do you think?
I always prefer, of course, homemade, whole foods. I have no problem with substituting with protein powder of your choice. Some people like the vegan stuff. Some people like, I don't mind the whey. I like milk, real milk, not soy milk, but it's a personal. I'm not a nutritionist.
Right.
But, don't replace your meals with it, but as a snack is okay. If you're in a hurry, we're busy people, it's okay to have a protein bar or protein powder of your choice.
And what about like when people say that they're going to fast and stuff like that? Do you recommend any type of fasting when it comes to the workouts? I mean, I come out of the workouts and I'm hungry. I need to eat. At least the days that I work out, I think it's really important to eat right away. Is that something you recommend, or do you feel like?
I personally wouldn't fast because
Okay.
I know that I need energy to go through my workout. I need fuel to help recover after my workout, and I wouldn't be able to do it if I'm fasting. I personally wouldn't. You need fuel to function.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
I like some aspects of fasting. There is personally I've ran into situations where I've learned to like to be hungry. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but there is a different type of focus when I'm hungry sometimes. It's like I can work a little bit better. I can focus a little bit better. So what I've done at times is that I fast on not the days that I'm working out. I just can't. On days that I'm not working out, if I miss the gym or whatever, I would fast until 12 o'clock. So my first meal of the day would be somewhere around 12. And I can really just blow through so much work in the morning. So it kind of like works for me that way. Definitely going through a whole day without eating or something like that is too much for me. I just, I get hungry, and it really affects me in negative ways sometimes. When I start thinking about the food instead of work, that's where like, okay, I got to eat, But in terms of like just intermediate fasting or, doing something until 12 o'clock on days that I don't work out, I seem to like it based on my energy, my, workflow and stuff like that. And I think it's good for my body as of now. I feel like it works with my personal situation. But yeah, I can't do it on working out days. It's just,
I don't know. You don't get hangry?
No, I don't. That's a wife thing. My wife gets hangry. I don't get hangry.
It's a female problem.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from when I was little too. Those moments where you're hungry, but you're instead of eating, you rather keep playing. It's kind of like that. Like when I have something important that I'm going through or that I got my brain focused on, I can stay hungry longer.
No, I get it.
It depends on what it is. If it's not that important, then food will obviously become more important for sure.
And depends also when did you eat your last meal the night before.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't feel hungry because there was not enough of a gap.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I mean, if it works for you.
Yeah.
But definitely don't try it on a Xforce day.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you're doing this workouts or any workout, anything that makes you feel, like you've exhausted your muscles, you should definitely eat something afterwards, right? You would think so.
Yes, think of it of a muscle car.
Right.
And trying to go somewhere without fuel in the tank.
Right. Yeah.
It needs fuel, so.
So last time that we interviewed you, we talked about, you were talking about how Xforce is like the iPhone compared to the flip phones, and how people are still working out like the old ways instead of, doing something like the new technologies of working out like this one, for example. And that really opened up my eyes. It made sense to, it's kind of like the same with the school system here, I would think, where everything's still the same as,
True.
back then and nothing changes. And, there are things that shouldn't change, in my opinion. Like, right, there's things that work and they've been proven to work, and maybe they shouldn't change. In this case, after trying your workout, like after trying Xforce, it's night and day. It's really a big difference. I just, can you elaborate on that a little bit in terms of what makes the biggest difference? Is it just, okay, I know you already mentioned the negative, you already mentioned the hormone. Is there anything else? I mean, I could kind of mention everything. I feel like I'm asking myself the question.
No, you're coming from your own experience,
Right,
right? It's
right.
like when you experience the workout, you feel like you're doing something way more productive.
Right.
And that's what it's all about.
Right.
And it's a matter of personal choice because, again, there's a lot of people that go to the gym to fulfill an emotional need.
Yeah.
You go get down to business. You want to get the workout done and move on with your business, with your family, with the stuff that, again, it's a matter of personal choice. But, and this is the high intensity training. The high intensity training workout is what is Xforce, just with the latest tool.
Yeah.
Our muscles don't know where the resistance is coming from. It's just another way to get the results, and you're getting the results way faster.
So when I went over there, we sat down right away. We kind of like just went through everything fast because I kind of already asked all the questions in our first interview, right? On the first interview, I hadn't been a part of this. I was just very curious, and I got all my questions answered. And I went over there. We had a small talk at the beginning. I'm sure you probably do that with most of your clients when they first start.
Oh, yeah. We always, the first visit, we go through I call it a discovery consultation where I share everything, the science, just like we did.
Right.
Why you do it only twice a week. Why the most change happens when you're not in the gym.
Yeah.
And changing that mindset that you don't get strong in the gym. You come to the gym so we can break everything down. You get strong in those 2 days when you're doing nothing, just you're walking, and your rest days is where the change happens. So we educate on that, and all I ask is, does this make logical sense to you? Can you logically apply it to your life? Because there's people that say, you know what, I can't wrap my brain around it. I need to be in the gym every day.
So when they sit down and talk to you about this, is there anything in terms of setting up a mindset for how do people come in? Like we were just talking about the mindset that I had coming in, get it done, go back to. Is there any type of talk on the mindset of the, like if you feel like somebody's just there for maybe the wrong reason, do you tell them, hey, maybe we should be thinking this way or something like that? That way you can have a longer term, type of results. Because most people, like, they go for maybe 2 months to the gym, they see some results, and then they fall off. Oh, I don't need it anymore for now or whatever. Is there any type of mindset, talk that you have with your clients in terms of understanding the process?
I mean, again, we're blessed with most people that come in are amazing. They already know that this is different, and most clients come from other clients, so they already know this is different.
Yeah,
this is not your traditional.
Yeah, most of them are coming prepared.
Yes, and but absolutely, I've had people that say I can't wrap my brain around this, and I mean, the workout is not easy, so. I don't want to say, but a lot of people rather take a pill.
Yeah.
And, try to get results that way. It's just a matter of me sharing everything with you. Hey, and I say it, this workout is not fun. It's not easy.
Right.
But your results will be remarkable. You got to believe in the process. And I have no problem saying you're welcome back when you're ready.
Yeah.
Because I've worked in healthcare. I worked in a rehab hospital for almost 3 years, and I know what it's like to work with people who don't want the help.
Yeah.
And that's not enjoyable for me and for the client. Back then it was a patient. I have to know that you want to be there. Basically, I want to help people who want to be helped.
Yeah.
And I've learned this. We're not for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, you go through the workout. It's not for everybody.
Right. Right. It's definitely not easy.
It's not easy, yeah.
You know, you got to push, you got to pull.
Exactly.
A lot.
It's effort.
But, you know, but
it's short.
But it's so short. It's easier than the gym. It's easier than doing 3 sets, I would say. You know, it's one very strong set that you can truly feel it. You may, you know, it's longer than the 1 set that you do at the gym, most likely, but it's so efficient and it's so valuable. And then it's a full body workout. And you guys change it around too.
Sometimes.
You know, the other day, they gave me the push and pull treatment. Is that a little hidden secret? Yeah.
It's called, those are in the strength and conditioning world. Those are different protocols in a strength workout. And they're more demanding sometimes.
Yes.
So once in a while, it's okay. Just for your fun variety.
Well,
or our fun.
I thought it was great. I mean, listen, I go to the gym and I'm like Mike Tyson. Like, just do it like you love it. You know, like it's, you know, this morning I'm doing my cardio because, and I want to get into cardio here in a second. This morning I was doing my cardio, my 30-minute cardio, and I just put a podcast on, and I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't. There's nothing in me that says, you know, get on this machine and walk or, you know, whatever. I was doing the elliptical. And do it for 30 minutes. And there's nothing in me that wants to do this. But it's like, okay, you know, me and my wife decided, who are we and who do we want to be, right? And we wrote on a board. We took the TV down. This is actually our bedroom TV. We took it down, put it over here because we decided we want to read more instead of watching too many shows and, you know, filling your head with some nonsense. Because some of these shows are nonsense.
And you know also that stuff in the bedroom is hurting your sleep.
Yeah. Like the lighting and stuff like that? Yeah.
Never have a TV in your bedroom. Every time I have cable, people come in, you don't have a TV in your bedroom? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
The bedroom is for only 2 things, no 3 things. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
No, the blue light delays our melatonin release.
Yeah.
And it screws up your quality sleep.
Yeah. I've had a lot of sleep issues. Especially after having kids. It's just,
Understood.
It's, you know, middle of the night, waking up. I'm kind of used to it now, to waking up in the middle of the night.
But they don't wake you up anymore, no?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
My 6-year-old girl, yeah.
Really?
Yep. We put her to sleep in her bed, but she still comes in the middle of the night. Sometimes she doesn't, but most nights she does.
Okay.
But yeah, besides that, my wife got in a habit of going to sleep with the TV on, for example. Oh my God, I can't. I hated that. It was like
I'm with you.
Yeah. And then there was also, you know, we wanted to read more books. And the only time that we actually have to read is at nighttime. We can't find any other time. During the daytime, I woke up today at 5 in the morning. We're going to work. We do a little workout, then, which is like the cardio. Then we, you know, get home. We read a little bit of the Bible. We kind of like pray for the day, plan our day, make sure that we know what's happening. You know, so we got 2 kids, and if we don't do this, we lose ourselves. And then we're like, what are we doing? You know, we're like running with our heads cut off like chickens, right? But when it comes to the TV, so we removed it. We're reading, you know, we're kind of like reading ourselves to sleep.
That's great.
Something that we like or whatever. And it has definitely improved our sleep. You know, sleep is something that you guys really, you know, focus on here. What is the regular amount of sleep that a human being should be sleeping, in your opinion?
If you're doing Xforce, 8.5 hours.
8.5. And like you said before, you lose weight while you sleep?
99% of the muscle building happens when you sleep, and 99% of the fat that you're losing happens when you sleep. So all of it, all the changes happens when we sleep. It's I say you have, the pillars of health. They're exercise, nutrition, hydration.
Yeah.
Sleep is not just another pillar. It's the foundation that holds everything together
Yeah.
and where the magic happens. So sleep is the most important part of it.
Yeah.
Because again, think about it. Your workout is 15, 20 minutes. All these other things outside of the gym is what helps your body change.
Yeah.
And the workout is just the stimulus. But combined with those other aspects, that's why every time we ask you, how are you doing with your sleep, with your eating, with everything?
Yeah.
If there's an issue, I would ask, hey, I want for 3 days, I want you to journal everything that you eat. It might be a little tweak, but the meal plan is normal. It's a guide. You're eating your carbs. There's no deprivation. You can have whatever.
Yeah.
So, but sleep is, and TV, there was a study done. If your wife is watching TV before bed and you're reading a book, her melatonin melatonin is what puts us to sleep and puts us into deep and then REM sleep after, which is the restorative sleep. Her melatonin will be delayed by 2 hours because she was watching blue light. The same with the phones, computers. I say an hour before bed, no TV, no phone, no computers, nothing.
Yeah.
Which is hard. I mean,
it's not as hard as it was before. We've gotten a little bit used to it by now. It's really about making a decision for the better, your better health, right? We've done, I would say, a decent job as of holding on to our standard on that, and by removing the TV, like
smart.
you see
No,
it
it's
here,
great.
it's one of those things, right? So has there been nights where we're like, man, I wish I had the TV tonight? Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's been nights where we wanted to watch a movie in the bedroom. I grew up my whole life with TV, like besides Cuba. Once I got here, I had a TV in my room.
In your bedroom, you mean?
Yeah, in my bedroom, and I never not had one. So it was something that was very normal. I'm pretty sure a lot of Americans do this. It's a normal thing. But I do believe that there's a lot of health benefits into removing it from your bedroom, just to make sure that your bedroom is a sacred place specifically for sleeping. Obviously, other things too,
Right.
but specifically to get a good night's sleep. I think a lot of people can benefit from that if done right. All right, so hydration. This water, okay. This is one of my hardest struggle, drinking a lot of water.
Really?
Yes, I don't know why. So I bought the half a gallon jug, and I pretty much do about a whole half at least a day. But it's so hard for me to get to the whole gallon. What suggestions do you have on that?
My tip is, as soon as you wake up, before your coffee, before you start anything else, you drink maybe 30 ounces.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning. That gives you a head start. And be done drinking by 6 o'clock, so you're not waking up going to the bathroom all night.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that first 30 ounces, as soon as you get out of bed, is very helpful to get you through your water.
So I've been doing that actually. I love drinking water first. It's very helpful. But there is something that I noticed. I don't know if you heard of this. It's like I wake up on an empty stomach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I drink just plain water, I don't know if you know anybody else that this happens to, but my stomach kind of hurts a bit. So what I've done to fix that is just add lime to it.
Perfect.
And it's a night and day. Like it feels like it fills me up actually. Like it takes my hunger away, like my morning hunger and stuff like that. Have you heard of anybody else struggling with that? Like just drinking water first thing in the morning and having some type of stomach pains? Is that a normal thing?
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people, it's just not a pleasant feeling to dump a bunch of water on an empty stomach in the morning. And I do a little bit of lemon and a little bit of sea salt.
Okay.
Because it becomes replenishing electrolytes.
Yes.
We wake up deprived from the sodium all night.
Yes.
And that would also give you a little energy too.
Okay.
So little sea salt, little lime.
What is a little? Like one pinch?
Yeah, like a pinch in your water.
Okay.
It helps.
Yeah. I haven't done the sea salt, but one of your trainers told me about that. I gotta do that. All right.
Yeah, it will help.
Yeah.
Gives you
What
energy.
is the secret about the sea salt thing? It's
So, when we sweat a lot,
yeah.
if we're dehydrated or sweating, we're losing sodium.
Yeah.
So in Gatorade, the electrolytes, there's also sodium in there.
Okay.
Helps you replenish that.
Okay.
Well, the same effect is all night while we sleep, we're losing all that. We wake up depleted of electrolytes and sodium. A little bit of sodium gives you energy, helps you function again.
Okay.
So I do it, makes me feel better. Honestly, since I started doing the salt and the lemon,
Yeah.
I don't even need coffee in the morning. Wakes me right up. I just love the coffee, so I'm still drinking my coffee. But
I've never been a coffee person like that, and I'm Cuban. Like I'll drink it, but I'm not like one that needs it.
okay.
My wife absolutely needs it, and actually as of lately, she's been trying to stop drinking so much of it.
What is so much?
Well, let's just say she has a cup with her most of the day of coffee, morning and then afternoon,
Oh yeah, okay.
and then she'll stop. It's definitely excessive in some ways. She's very good about so many other things. Coffee, I think, is like the one thing that she struggles with stopping the most. And she just recently switched to decaf, and it's been helping out a little bit because I think the caffeine is what was, it was giving her some headaches or something, is what she had mentioned. She's just trying to learn, herself a little bit and figure out what works, what doesn't in terms of feeling better with her headaches that she was getting.
I was your wife before, so I would always have a coffee 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I switched to green tea.
Okay.
Okay, so it gives me that little fix, but it's not as strong as coffee. And being done with coffee by 11 o'clock or noon also helps improve sleep. So she can try that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Switch to green tea.
And I think I'm going to have her try the salt too. I think the salt is important too.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really...
It makes sense. And I mean, at least the water with lemon for me, it really does, separate the feeling of needing coffee and stuff like that. So that's helpful. Cardio. Okay. So when it comes to the cardio, so you guys recommend about 30 minutes a day. What
low intensity,
right?
Nothing too hard,
right? But you require some movement, especially if you have like an office job or a driving job, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and it's great for your recovery. It's great for your body, for your digestion. I recommend, of course, Dr. Darden from the research he did is the best time is after dinner to take a 30-minute walk. Helps with digestion, with hormone regulation. But there's a pandemic in sedentary lifestyle. So breaking out of that and making it a point, okay, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes is critical.
Yeah.
Again, don't overdo it. It does, we don't need the 10,000 steps. I don't know who came up with that number, but 30 minutes is enough to keep us active, and weights are non-negotiable. Every doctor should be saying this. Weights.
Yeah.
Every adult should be lifting weights with good form for like longevity, anti-aging, protecting our joints, our back. Because all the joints issue come from muscle loss, and the muscle doesn't protect anymore when we lose it. And this is where back pain, neck pain.
Yeah.
You probably notice a lot less aches and pains outside of the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's simple, down to the basics.
Yeah.
The latest trend in exercise is good, wrong. No, it's down to the basics.
Yeah. I think when it comes to walking, there's so many fun ways of doing it nowadays. Personally, I like podcasts.
Yeah.
I put on something that I think I'm going to learn something from, whether it's political or entertaining, whatever it is. But I try to make it as educational as possible. Maybe something about real estate that I need to know for my clients. And it's so easy to just walk or do that cardio with me doing that. But I've also experienced people that they actually enjoy just a quiet walk with nothing.
Yeah,
like
it's a
no
stress
audio.
relief. Yeah.
Right. Just
A lot of people do it to clear their heads.
right. And the what some of them are saying is that, they will start, they move, they start in the first like 10, 15 minutes. It's like, what am I doing? They're like, because you remove yourself from your phone, from everything in life, you disconnect yourself, and you're kind of like, okay, like I need that, phone again. I need that, hit again of my social media or whatever. But after the first, 15 minutes or so, you can truly just connect with what's going on. I was reading a book. It's called The Power of Habits. Have you ever heard of it? It's a beautiful book. I think it's so good about habits, how we develop bad habits, like, I don't know, smoking cigarettes, or just drinking every weekend or whatever, versus developing habits that are, good for you, and how your body will automatically adjust and just basically get used to it. So, for example, if, the walking situation, yeah, your body may not be used to it. Your brain is not used to it. You've never done it before. It only takes this a good amount of times, like maybe a couple of months of you doing something consistently, and then when you don't do it, your body will actually like expect you to do it naturally, per se.
That's when you have developed the habit. They say,
right.
21 days?
Right. Somewhere around 21 days, but then there's another period to like solidify it and stuff like that. But that's a good book for anybody that's trying to just make changes in their life, and you're struggling with making these changes. I mean, I understand. I've been through hard changes before in my head, where I'm like, I'm gonna work out tomorrow, and then I don't, and then I feel even worse, and then I want to, but I don't, and I'm not, and then I fall into this routine of not doing what I said that I was gonna do, and then I'm like, what kind of man am I? Like, I'm not even doing what I said I was gonna do, right? So it really is about making that mental shift, and everybody has the power to do it. Everybody can literally say, I'm gonna work out tomorrow, and actually do it. It's hard. It's not easy. Just like a session at Xforce may be hard, but you can definitely do it if it's really what you want. If it's really what you're looking for in terms of, especially if you live in this country, you could do it.
You can do anything in this country.
Right. So, Illy, so I know you mentioned that, you want to work with people that want to better themselves. I want to, with this program, I want to reach as many people as possible that are Americans, specifically people from my country, for the reason of unity. I want to make sure that we become healthier, that we do better things as Americans, that we choose better presidents as Americans, or even if we think differently, that we get back to being united. And I think it starts with just loving the place that we live at. In terms of the people that just don't see it, and I have different men's group that I join, and every time we talk about workouts, my brain automatically goes like, yeah, because it's hard, it's sucks or whatever, but I know I get a good benefit out of it. I know with time it creates more energy, it makes me feel better. So I've already experienced certain results, but there are men that tell me, like, just that tell the coaches that are trying to like talk about getting ourselves into a habit. These are groups where we just meet online and we talk about things that we should be doing and stuff like that as Christian men or whatever. Anyways, some of these men are like, I don't get that hit like of dopamine or of feeling good when I work out. I hate it. I hate working out. What do you think what in your opinion, people that just absolutely hate working out, but they need to for their own good, for their health, they need to make a shift in their life. Is there any recommendations that you can have to somebody that absolutely hates working out in order to maybe, at least get started in doing it?
I always say, and not because it's Xforce and not because it's unbiased, of course, but I say a workout like Xforce. I'm not saying you have to do it at Xforce, right? It's something short, it's something efficient and productive.
Yeah.
Xforce type workout, which is high intensity training, and there's many high intensity training facilities around United States and actually the world with short 2 times a week, short productive workouts. Think about it. It's great for people who love working out
Yeah.
because it's intense. It's hard. So you get that dopamine high feeling after the workout. But it's also great for people who hate working out because before you know it, it's over.
Right.
It's quick.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
Right? It's
yeah.
short. So
Yeah.
if you hate doing it, guess what? It's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You got this.
Yeah.
But, to get you through the door and to get yourself out and walk into a gym, probably you need to dig deeper
Right.
for a why,
Yeah.
your personal why. I don't know what, that's very personal for everybody.
Can I ask you what your why is?
For working out,
Yeah.
I want to be strong. I want to be as strong as I can be because I've seen people in wheelchairs. I worked with people in wheelchairs, and I know that at the end of life, we're the product of how we take care of ourselves.
Our temple.
And probably my grandma helped because she said, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. That's my personal why for working out. I'm doing it for my health.
Yeah.
I would plan my flights around my workouts. I hope nothing dies and there's no funeral on a workout day because I'm not going to be there. It's my lifting day.
Yeah.
I love my routine. And when nothing interferes with my routine.
Yeah.
And it's only twice a week. What can really prevent you from doing it twice a week, right?
Right.
There's no excuse.
Right.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that if you hate working out, if it's something that you want to do, obviously, but you can't figure out how to get started, this is a really good option for you because, you don't have to come 5 times a week. You don't have to overdo it. You're doing 2 times a week. The workouts are really short, and you have support too. Like there's a lot of support from the trainers, making sure that you're doing it right, that they give you the extra push that you need to get the results that you want. So yeah, that would make sense. I actually, I didn't plan on that answer, but that actually is a really good answer for.
What do you mean you didn't plan?
Yeah, because I didn't. As I'm asking you that question, I wasn't planning. Actually, Xforce is perfect for those people,
Yeah.
which makes complete sense.
I said, I'm not. I mean, it's great if you hate working out, and it's great for you if you love working out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in that short time, you get such a high.
Yeah.
I can't even explain. It's like a happy high feeling after that workout because of the intensity level. And now we have the latest research that it's 2019 research that says that the only component that rejuvenates our cells on a cellular level, I'm like a nerd when it comes to health stuff, on a cellular level means our cells, the mitochondria, right? The powerhouse of the cell, they're only rejuvenated by the level of intensity of a workout, not by the duration, right? This is why with these beautiful females, they go to these classes for 45 minutes to an hour. You're in a moderate intensity. Makes sense? It's moderate. It's not high intensity.
Yeah.
And that puts your body in so much stress. You're boosting cortisol, and you can lose your fat. You cannot get the results. It should be short and intense. Even if you're doing cardio for high intensity purpose, it should be like quick, super high intensity, like a sprint. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have the study now. And it's a no-brainer. But again, it's personal. The why is personal. Why we do it.
Yeah, I agree with that. What is your opinion on people like V-Shred or any of this people that are coming out with fast solutions on the internet? Have you ever heard of them? You never heard of V-Shred?
No. What is that?
It's this guy that's in shape that talks about you don't have to do any cardio at all. You just follow my routine, and they do like a body exam online on your phone, and then they take your money. And you never experienced any of that?
No,
Okay.
I'm glad I haven't actually.
Yeah,
but
I'm glad you haven't either. I fell for it once.
it's no cardio. I mean, cardio again. It's how you improve your cardiovascular function.
Yeah.
We have the studies now, because that's a very interesting for the health and fitness nerds, but aerobics was the book that in the 70s, Dr. Cooper, I've watched him speak at conferences, and he definitely needs to lift weights. But anyway, Dr. Cooper wrote a book in the 70s called Aerobics.
You say he definitely needs to
Lift weights. Yeah, he can barely walk at this point at his age, right?
Yeah.
If you lift weights, you function better. But anyway, he's brilliant. And back then, there was an honest find that he even came with the term aerobics. He wrote a book. I think the first was the Air Force that adopted it. And in the book Aerobics, again, this is about 50 years ago, Air Force adopted it. So in that book, you got points for jogging, for running, for swimming, for biking, and you got points for aerobic activity, which was the cardio, which improved your heart.
Yeah.
Okay? And how they came up with that is because your lungs are close to your heart, and they say, oh, that should be good for your heart. We're breathing harder, right? And now, 20, 30 years later, all these joggers, remember in the 70s with the socks and the shorts and everybody's running?
I wasn't born back then.
But you've seen movies and videos,
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure,
I've seen movies,
right?
yeah.
Like the shorts and the cardio outfits, right?
Yeah.
Everybody did cardio.
Yeah.
So in that book, you got 0 points for lifting weights. Make sense? It was all cardio. And 20, 30 years later, all these people are dropping dead from heart failure, cardiovascular disease, right? And they
all the same people that were doing all this cardio.
The same people, and they say, wait a minute, why did he die so young? He was a triathlete. I'm talking late 40s, early 50s. Boom, dead. Heart failure, heart problems.
Wow.
He was a triathlete. He was a runner. He was a marathon runner. He was a swimmer, right? And they go, something is wrong, because if they're strengthening their hearts by doing all these cardio exercises, they shouldn't be dead at 50 with heart problems, right? And the next 20 years, I think it's been 30 years already, but for 20 years, they did studies with now incorporating lifting weights. And the most famous one was done with like 1,500 firefighters. I can't remember the name of the study, but they monitored their hearts over the course of 10 years. And they put them on treadmills, running, jogging, right? And one small group of them, they incorporated one strength exercise, which was the push-up. Okay? After the 10-year, the study was done, guess who had the strongest heart?
The firefighters.
No, the group that did the push-ups.
That versus the firefighters?
Versus the rest of them.
Oh,
they were all firefighters, but they could monitor their activity, right?
Got it.
So most of them did only treadmill workouts.
Wow.
In a course of 10 years. One small group had to do push-ups.
Got it.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Strength workout versus a treadmill workout are two totally different things.
Yeah.
But the one with the strength had a healthier heart.
So what you're saying is that we need both in a lot of ways.
I'm saying that strength is non-negotiable.
Right.
Because it's not only anti-aging, improving your joints, your bones, even your heart. Cardio is just, we have to move.
Yeah.
Duh. It's not like, oh, you go for a walk. The doctor tells you go for a walk. What? We should be walking.
Right.
We shouldn't be sitting all day, right?
Cars are an invention. We weren't made to sit in a car all day.
Exactly. It's like we live in a world when the doctor has to tell you, oh, you have to walk what? Right?
Yeah.
No, the doctor should say, hey, make sure you increase your muscle mass, because when you start losing your muscle mass, you're in major trouble.
Yeah.
Your joints, your heart, your everything declines. Right?
At what age do you start losing your muscle?
30 years old. This is the average Westerner, right? And I say Westerner because in more developed countries, we are less active because we drive everywhere, we sit a lot, right? There's countries where still they carry their groceries home, right? They walk.
Yeah.
Some people start earlier, but the average is 30 years of age. We start losing half a pound of lean muscle per year. Half a pound of lean mass we lose per year. Now, you do the math, what happens by the time you're 50, by the time you're 60. I mean, when I say old person, what do you picture? Weak and frail.
Yeah.
Right? This is what a doctor should be saying.
Yeah.
Let me measure your muscle mass. That's why we use the Fit 3D scanner at Xforce. Every 6 weeks, everybody goes on the Fit 3D scanner. Muscle mass, fat mass. You know you're going in the right direction, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Good stuff. Okay. So in terms of your gyms, you have the Palm Harbor one that I normally go to, right on 19.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the one in South Tampa on Kennedy Road. What others do you have? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
And the Xforce negative training equipment is only utilized in 4 facilities in the whole country. They come from Sweden.
Oh, wow.
And they're very, very, very pricey, obviously, but they're the best.
Yeah.
It's like,
they look pricey.
yeah.
Yeah, the machine is like it starts like this, and then it starts like this, and then when it adds the weight, it goes straight.
Yeah, it's simple physics.
Right.
I mean, while you're lifting, the stack is tilted under 45 degrees.
Right.
When you're ready to lower, the stack goes straight and adds that. But again, you know the feeling from
So
it.
you got 2 of the gyms of the 4 gyms that are in the United States?
So here, Tampa Bay, there's one in Gainesville where it all started, where Dr. Darden did the research.
Okay.
There's one in Philadelphia and one in upstate New York. Those are the only 4 in the country with Xforce negative training machines.
Wow. There's nothing in Miami?
Nothing.
Interesting.
I would open one there,
You
but
should.
I need the right person to run it.
Okay.
Like you
Yeah,
see
you
how,
live here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the people.
Yeah, of course. Where can people apply to go to your gym? Where do they go right away? Where should be the go-to if they want to
At
try out Xforce?
xforcebody.com. You can literally sign up.
Xforcebody.com.
Yep, sign up for a free workout, and we do the consultation and the workout, no charge.
Yeah.
We're happy to educate. We're happy to have people experience it and decide if they like it.
Yep. So what is it? Do you guys have like a trial for it?
Yep.
So is it like a week or is it one workout?
It's a workout.
Okay.
Because one workout, you get an idea what it is.
Yeah, you get pretty much everything from one workout.
No matter how much I explain it, you don't know what I'm talking about
Right.
until you walk in and experience it.
Right. And that's what I would tell everybody. Guys, get out there and experience this workout. It's something like you've never experienced before. Once you experience it, you will know why it takes 20 minutes. Everybody that I've mentioned it to, they're like, 20 minutes? Like, come on, bro. Twice a week? Come on, bro. I'm like, bro, try it. Just go and try it. It's incredible. It's something that I never thought could work based on the math that I heard on the first episode, but I had seen the results. Frank looks great. I wanted to look better, and here I am still going through it and enjoying every workout session for sure. And I thank you for what you've done in my life, for everything that you've done up to here, to the gym that you've created, the idea of working out that you've created. I think it's going to impact a lot of people. It already has, and I think it will continue to grow for sure.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one. Take care. How's it going, everybody? This is We the People. Let's talk.